Welcome to this session of Oracle. Is my voice clear to you all people? Can you please raise the hands? Okay, great. Okay, before we start the topics for the day, let us recap what we have done in the last class. In the last class, we have talked about stored procedures. Okay, creating last class, what we did is create SP and then drop SP and then replace. SP stands for stored procedure. Then we talked about how to execute the stored procedures. Then we also talked about how to see the compilation errors in stored procedures. With respect to the syntax in stored procedures, we talked about comments, variables, loops, and then if conditions. Then we talked about in parameter and out parameter. Also we talked about calling procedures. Okay, we talked about how to call one procedure from another procedure. This is the one that we have done in the last class. In this class, what we are going to see is, and also yesterday we talked about how to use insert inside stored procedure, how to use a SQL statement like DML query. DML meaning data manipulation language. Today we are going to use some amount of select, and then we are going to see today's class. Okay, we are going to see how to use functions. Okay, there is something called stored procedure, there is something called stored function, how to use functions, and then how to use select statement within stored procedures, then something called packages within stored procedures. So this is going to be the topic of the day, and also a minimal amount of exception handling, how to handle exception within stored procedures. Shall we start on the new topics? Can you please raise the hands if so? Okay, great. Now let me erase this content and then start typing the stored function. Okay. Exactly like we have got stored procedure, we have got something called stored function also, right? It's a very simple syntax. You can say create, okay, create or replace function. Okay, create or replace function, and then I'm going to give the function name as, say, fun1, fun1. Okay, first let us do, I think better we start with the parameter itself, because parameter passing is same for both procedure and function. Because every time when you use create, if the function already exists, then you have to drop. If you use create and replace, I have used, so that if it already exists, it will drop and then recreate. Function 1, I'm going to say p1, which is a parameter. P1 is an in parameter, and I'm going to say integer. Okay, and function always returns a value on the left hand side. Okay, you have to say return type. Okay, when a function has to return something, you have to say what is the return. Again, you have the type should be one of the variable type definitions. For example, I'm going to say this is going to return, okay, character. The functionality of this function, what I'm going to say is if I pass 1, it should return January. If I pass 2, it should return February. So the use of this function or the logic of the function that I'm going to say, whatever parameter pass, it has to give the month name of that. With respect to syntax definition, you are going to say, after definition of the parameters, you are saying return type. I'm saying character. After that, it is same as our stored procedure definition. Begin and then end, right? This syntax, create or replace, that syntax is same. Instead of procedure, you are going to say function. Instead of procedure name, you are going to give function name. Parameters definitions are same. Additionally, we are using return type. After this, you can use local variables, right? Now I'm going to say local variable m character of say 3. Okay, I am defining as this variable as character of 3. Okay, and then the logic I'm going to write internally. Okay, if p1 equal to 1, then right, m colon equal to Jan. Okay, so I'm putting a variable like that, right? Then you can always use else if. Okay, else I'm going to the next line. If p1 equal to 1, then store the variable value January into m. Then else if p1 equal to 2, then m colon equal to February, right? Like this, you can keep on typing a lot of values. Instead of saying else space if, you will straight away say else if. Okay, that is a syntax over here. Instead of saying else and then having a separate if, you can simply say else if. Now let me use one more thing. Else if p1 equal to 3, then m colon equal to March. Finally, if it is not one of these 3 values, I'm saying else. I just change it to m is nothing. Okay, I'm just typing it as. Finally, the if construct has to end with end if. Okay, now I have given this if condition. Finally, the function has to return a value using the word return. Okay, you have to use a keyword return. Now I am returning return m. Okay, return the value m to the caller. One of the reasons why this function has been defined is in mathematics. Okay, in mathematics there are 2 ways to define functions, right? One way of writing the function is, I'm just writing it in a comment statement over here. Okay, you will use f of x comma y. This is a way of representing a function in mathematics. That means you have a function parameter 1, parameter 2. There is another way of writing the function also in mathematics, saying y equal to f of x. This is also another way of writing the function, right? Procedures are like this. there is no left hand side. LHS is not there for procedures. For the procedures, you are always passing values. Whereas for the functions, you are passing values over here, parameters, but it gives something to the left hand side, LHS. LHS meaning left hand side. So if I want to write something like this, f of x comma y, you will use procedure. If you want to have one return value instead of multiple return values, I would like to have only one return value. Then for that one return value, I don't want to put that return parameter as out parameter. Instead, let it give it on the left hand side. So it will be easy for me to read it, right? Like mathematics. This is why they have differentiated procedure and function. Most of the languages, even if you take C, there is a return type. There's a void function. Void function is a procedure. If a function returns something, then it is a normal function. Same way every programming language supports. Either it returns on the left hand side or it returns on an out parameter. If you are happy that it is returning on out parameter, you write procedure. If you want to write it in this mathematical notation, left hand side equal to a function, use functions. Now, how to call this function? To call this function, again I have to create another simple procedure or function, create or replace procedure P1, okay, SP1, okay, SP1. I'm going to pass a parameter x in integer, okay, as begin, end. Within this procedure, what I'm going to simply do is, let me have another variable, okay. Y character of 10, okay. Now I'm going to use y colon equal to the function call, okay. The function is fun1 of this parameter, okay. So what I'm simply doing is, from the user I'm getting a parameter x as a parameter. I'm just straight away passing it to this function. Then I'm finally printing it dbms underscore output dot put underscore line, the value of that, whatever that is returned by that function. So function takes a value and then it is going to return 1, 2, 3, either Jan, February, March or nothing. For that I have a caller. This is what I have defined. Once I have defined, let me just copy this, okay. Sorry, before that I have to use the slash command so that it gets compiled. Control A, Control C. Now I come back to the SQL prompt. Let me connect. Now I'm going to submit these statements, the function definition and the procedure caller, okay. So function is created and it says procedure created. So we have successfully created a procedure. If you look at the procedure, for the procedure there is no return type, right? Whereas for a function there is a return type. So I pass an integer to the procedure, that is in turn passed to the function. The function, based on the integer's value, it is going to execute one of this, return either January, February, March or nothing. Let us see whether it works or not. To execute this, we know whenever we are printing something, we need to use set server output on, okay, set server output on, so that the print line messages will come out. I'm going to execute the procedure. Execute procedure SP1 and then pass the value 1, okay. The moment I pass the value 1, it in turn calls the function. That function returns the value January, and that Jan is assigned to this variable y, and I am printing that value y. Now I am going to execute SP1 with the value 2. Now it is going to return fib, and you could see fib over here. Okay. Now, and one more thing is, if I execute sp1 within bracket, if I say 10, moment you give 10, the if condition does not have anything, right? And the problem is the function returned something like nothing, right? Function returned, for example, nothing, right? And 1 second. This is 3, right? When I assigned 3, I have instead only 3, but I tried to load nothing, NOTHING, which is more than 3 characters. That is why it is going to give, it is giving this error message. So if this error message comes, it is very clearly saying on line number 1 of, on line number 13 of this function, which is called from line number 5 of the procedure. So I need to go back and I need to change that procedure function limit. Okay, instead of the character, I'm moving back to the code. Instead of character 3, let me define character of 10. Okay, again I have to resubmit back to the SQL code. Then this time you will not have that issue, because previously I defined an array a character length of 3, and I try to do insert 7 characters to that. Now let us execute. Execute sp1, pass the value of 5. Moment you say, it takes the value 5, it calls the function with the value of 5, and when it goes inside the function, it executes. If input parameter equal to 1, no. Input parameter is 2, it's no. Input parameter is 3, no. Then it comes to the else condition, then it is assigning the value nothing, and that m is returned back to the caller, and I am printing that, right? So the old function, the moment I give create or replace, the old code is replaced to new code, right? Someone is asking a question, why we do not get truncated to number 3 characters? That is how Oracle has been implemented. So if you assign a huge value, if the array is not enough, it is going to give error. Why he is not returning truncating? It is a question to Oracle. That is the way it has been designed. So we cannot change that mode. So if you assign larger value to a smaller value, it is not truncated, it is giving you error. That is how PLSQL has been implemented. Okay. Is this clear? Definition of a function and use of a function, calling a function. Good. Good. I could see the hands raising. Good. Great. Fantastic. So essentially all said and done, function, right? If you want the value to be returned on the left hand side, use a function, right? If you want to have it as an output parameter, you can simply use it on procedure itself. Absolutely no need. Wherever you want to use function, you can use procedure also. Wherever you are using procedure, you can use function also. But the moment the return value is restricted to only one value, function is more clear, because you are writing in mathematics like this, a equal to f of x, which is more easy to understand for the people in terms of readability of the code. Okay. Apart from that, the purpose of a function is same as purpose of a procedure. There is absolutely no difference. Again, a procedure can call a function can call a function can call a procedure, right? A procedure can call a procedure. Anything can call anything. There is absolutely no restriction that you have to call a function only from a procedure. One function can call another function. One procedure can call another procedure, and crisscross calling also is allowed. Now, let us move to the next level. Now we have created separate functions and procedures. But many times I might be coding a set of procedures and a set of functions. For example, even if you take a C program or a COBOL program, a set of functions will be contained within a single file, right? And they are restricted to be accessed only from that file. Basically, it provides a modularity. Modularity meaning don't have everything as independent functions such that anybody can call anybody. You put them under a container. Basically, group them. Put them under exactly in library you have got science related books in one area, physics related books in another area, math related books in another area. Like that, if you are able to group, readability, maintenance, calling, everything will be easy. Okay. Now, so the moment you are able to restrict them within a file, that gives a modularity. So how to achieve modularity? To achieve modularity, they are providing something called packages. Okay. Packages meaning it's a container. Package doesn't do anything specific. So how I can use packages? Okay. To use packages, okay. Again, the syntax is very simple. I'm not going to change these functions anymore, but simply I'm going to just change it into a package. A package will contain procedures and functions. That's very simple. Okay. Now, let me just delete this so that I can show that from the scratch. Package contains two parts. One is package header and another is package body. There are two parts, package header and package body. So you have to give those commands to create a package. So how do I do it? I say create or replace package. As simple, same as create or replace procedure, create or replace package. Okay. Create or replace package, pack1. Okay. Okay. Then as I said, it contains two parts. One is the header, one is the body. Again here as package1 as. Inside this you have to give the procedure definitions. You don't declare the procedure code, but simply give only the procedure definition. Okay. Now I am going to give simply what is the procedure name and what are its parameters. That's what. I am not going to give what is the code of that procedure, but simply, right, procedure P1 within brackets X in integer. Okay. This is one procedure. This package is going to contain two procedures, which is procedure 1 and procedure 2. Procedure P2, it has Y in character. So it contains two procedures, okay, but it's not going to have what is the actual code of that particular procedure. The code of the procedure is going to be in the body of the package. If you simply say create or replace package, it is called the header of the package. Now at the end you have to give end and then say slash. Okay. This portion is only the header of the package. Header will contain, simply will tell SQL or Oracle, it will say, hey, I am going to have two procedures, P1 and P2. P1 is going to have one integer parameter, P2 is going to have one character parameter. But what is the logic of the procedure, what is the code of the procedure is not here. So it is simply declaring a function, but you are not going to define the code of the function over here. Is the header part of the package clear to you? Very simple syntax. Tell what procedures it's going to have or what function it's going to have. Apart from that, nothing. Very simple syntax. Good. Yes, someone was asking, so package is like a header file. Correct. It is as good as a header file containing only the function names and their parameters. It doesn't have the function code. Absolutely right. Now, the next thing is I have to define the body of the package, right? For that, you are going to use create or replace package. Now you say body pack1. The moment you say package body, right? Then there only the code is going to come, right? As create or replace package body pack1. The moment you put body over here, that is exactly where you are going to give the code of the procedure. Now there is going to be one end. Okay. This end is for the package body. In between these two, I have to give the procedure code also, right? Now I'm going to say procedure P1 X in integer, right? What is the definition of the procedure? As begin, right? This procedure internally will have another end statement, right? That means the body includes the procedure code. Now inside this procedure, all I'm going to do is just print a message, okay? dbms underscore output dot put underscore line within brackets say x. Print that value of x, okay? Nothing beyond that. Or say x star 10. You print some value. I'm going to give only one line in that. You can put any logic over here. You can write a big procedure over here, but that must be contained within the package. Now I'm going to have another procedure, procedure 2. The parameter is y, right? It is a character parameter, right? Now inside this I'm going to print say print upper of that parameter. That's all. So if you look here, the package body contains the actual code of the two procedures. Package header contains only the declaration part of the procedures. So the actual code of the procedure comes over here. Since it contains these two, it is called a package, right? Now, if I select this code, copy, go back to our SQL command line prompt, and submit the code. Okay. Let me submit the code. Now it says, the moment I gave this, it says package created. Then the moment I gave this command, it says package body created. Fine. It's very simple. Package is no different from the procedure, but only thing is one package can contain multiple procedures. One package can contain either procedures or functions or both. It is nothing but a container. As simple as that. There is one difference when you execute. Previously, when we executed a standalone procedure, right? Create or replace procedure, the moment we did that, we simply executed the procedure name. Whereas when you do using a packaged procedure, all you need to do is execute. Instead of saying execute procedure P1, you have to simply say execute package name 1, pack1, package name dot procedure name. Now I'm going to pass a value 5, right? While executing, instead of directly calling execute the procedure name, you are going to say execute package name dot procedure name, right? Same way, since I have given 5, it is printing 5 into 10. Now if I want to execute this second procedure, execute package 1 dot procedure 2 within bracket, I am going to say hello. Now it is going to convert that into uppercase, and then it is printing hello in capital letters. So package is nothing but a set of procedures contained within it. This is the same extension, and you are asking, you are calling a procedure using the package name also. This is one of the forerunners of object-oriented programming. Again, though it is not strictly object-oriented programming, if you take Java, you will say system.out.println. The println procedure is contained within out. That is contained within system library. So you will always use system.io out.println. So one is contained within another, and that is contained within another. Here in Oracle, there are only one level of containment. Package within that procedures and functions. You don't have a package within a package within a package. It's always a package dot procedure name or package dot function name, right? Now, the moment you have got all the other rules of every programming language holds good. If I have a local variable only to this procedure P1 that is available within this procedure, right? If I have a local variable within this procedure, it is available within this. Between this as and procedure, if I declare a variable, those variables will be available for all the procedures. So it's like a global variable and local variable that you will have, right? The scope rules are exactly the same. And if I have one variable called X in one package, that variable is not available in package 2. So the variables are local either within the procedure or within the package. It cannot go beyond package to package. If at all you want to pass that, the only way is you have to pass through parameters, right? There is nothing like a global or a shared parameter between packages, right? This is called packaged procedures. You create it in two parts. Create package, give only the function or procedure declarations, then create package body. Within that, give the whole code of all the procedures and functions. While executing one small change, instead of calling the procedure directly, say package name dot procedure name. Rest logic, everything is same, ditto. Is this clear to you all? Can you please raise the hands? Okay, good. And one another thing from Open Mentor we would like to announce in this is throughout the next week we don't have any webinars. Okay, only from November 4th we are going to start new webinars. New webinars will be listed into the portal by tomorrow. In November, from openmentor.net we are starting MBA topics also, right? A lot of management papers are also there. There are students who aspire to management studies. Also, there are working people who want to go to management studies. At the same time, what is there in MBA? That's always there in everybody's mind. So we are introducing 2 topics on MBA in openmentor.net courses. Also, we are creating one other course, okay? How a project is executed, okay? Because many people say, okay, a software project meaning talk to the customer, start coding, test it and give it. But there is a lot procedure. There is a way in which a project has to be executed based on standards like ISO, CMM, CMMI, right? We are going to give a complete demo and instructions and kind of a drama, how a product delivery happens, including how people will be called, what will be the minutes of the meeting, how will they prepare checklist, right? How will the review happen? What happens as sequence one after the other in SDLC? Everything will be done with a real life example. That's going to be another interesting webinar next month. Those things will be published probably by tomorrow evening or so, and the emails will be coming to all the people. Okay, let us the next level. Okay, the next thing that we are going to see in this is using a select statement inside a procedure. Okay, because select gets something, whereas if you use update, it doesn't bring anything to the procedure. If you use delete, it doesn't bring anything to the procedure. If you use insert, it doesn't bring anything to the procedure. But select goes to the database, it brings back something to the procedure. So handling select is not that easy, okay? But it's not again rocket science, okay? Someone has asked a question, do we have to call procedures individually? Yes, if it is a standalone procedure, you have to call the procedures individually, yes. You cannot club calling of two procedures in one thing. Call one procedure that can internally call another procedure, okay? Can variables be shared between procedure 1 and procedure 2 in a package? Yes. Between the procedures, if you declare variables between this and this, there are global variables allowed also, okay? Again, it depends upon the versions of Oracle that you use, and different databases implement in different ways, right? So you need to check with that particular version of database whether that kind of a sharing variable is supported.